All right. All right. Hello, everybody. We're going to be watching some videos here today. Whoops. I think I have to go over here. um, yeah, I don't know what he has in the search bar. What is it? I've been watching this one man that's extremely interesting with his supernatural videos. In particular, there's a lot of these type of channels out there that it's just they feel very scripted. They feel very unreal. There's not much about them. There he is. That I don't like watching their videos. They don't feel real to me. I spend a lot of time around spirits. I spend a lot of time understanding spirits, and the reason that it works so well for me is because I do understand their nature a lot, more so even than like living people. But so I can tell when something is not authentic or like it's not real. I get that sense with a lot of other videos out there of this nature, but this man in particular finds some really interesting videos that I'd like to watch, and just maybe if anybody comes to hang out, cool. If not, like I'll definitely give my critiques on just some of the spirits. I think some of these are misunderstood too, misinterpreted. Look at this! Look at this really disgusting scratch across my nose that my cat friggin' attacked me. Not really. She didn't mean to. She was like
during the time of this recording,
launching
which makes
herself across the room, and she ended up like making contact with my face, and it hurt so bad. Alan said that my scream made the entire like house jiggle because it was like blood curdling. It really hurt. But it was an accident, so I wasn't mad at her. But yeah, so if you see that, that's what that is. It's very off-putting. I hate it. It like looks like there's like one of those like scars, prison scars. I've never been to prison, so.
this incident even more unsettling. At the start of the video, we can see both the father and son lying in bed. However, seconds later, his son tells him that there's a scary friend by the door.
Oh no.
Not sure how to respond, the father looks intently at the door as his son repeats that there's a scary friend. What happens next has left him baffled. The father writes, "I was in bed with my son and we were the only ones home." This was their footage.
Scary friend. Scary friend.
Oh, there's actually you actually can see orbs. I'm not a big orb. I used to not believe orbs, but they're real. I get them all the time here now. There's a lot of them there. There's at least a few spirits in this house. You can tell. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. I don't know if it's a nasty spirit, because I think a nasty spirit would do a lot more.
Immediately after being told by his son that someone was outside the door, the hallway light turns on by itself. Then, as soon as both are out of the room, the door to the bathroom closes on its own. It was only after watching the video that the father had noticed this and was left even more disturbed. As with most viewers, the father believes that something paranormal had occurred. But of course, this is solely speculative, as not much info is given to determine what exactly happened. If they were the only ones home when this happened, then who, or maybe even what, had turned on the light and closed the bathroom door? Until a follow-up video is made to explain this odd occurrence, it seems that this question will remain unanswered. As always, what are your thoughts?
That spirit seems kind of gentle. I disagree. Like, it might look a certain way. It might even seem a certain way, but
was woken up late at night after hearing
a nasty
strange
spirit
noises
wouldn't do
inside his
that
house.
to get them
The
out.
source of the sound seems to be coming from downstairs, but naturally, the man hesitates to check out the noise. Marvin Caguas had recorded the following video, and to this day, he has no idea as to what happened inside his home that night. Marvin wasn't sure if his housemate was trying to scare him, or if this was another strange occurrence, which often happens in his home. Little did he know that this wasn't a prank, but rather an occurrence that would leave him terrified. Along with this video, Marvin writes, "Strange things always happen in my house, and it's only now that I've tried to film some of these events." The following is the video he took.
Alvin. Not funny anymore, man. Dude. Alvin. Shit ain't funny, man.
It's a nice house. Like it. I like it's like set up. I like how they have it set up. I don't like that mirror at the end of the hallway. For them, anyway. This is strange. What are we touring?
As soon as Marvin heads back inside after checking the garage, a loud thump is heard inside the house. It isn't until seconds later that the light fixture is seen swing back and forth on its own, as though someone had swung it lightly. And of course, as anyone would, Marvin runs away and heads back to his room, where the video comes to an end.
Yeah, that one
It
seems
goes
a
without
little bit
saying,
more
but
malevolent.
this incident has left him shook. It wasn't until noticing that his housemate was gone that he came to realize that this wasn't a prank, but rather one of many strange occurrences that have taken place in his home. However, as if what occurred that night wasn't chilling enough, Marvin had caught footage of something else that has left him even more disturbed. What was supposed to be a video of him showing off a neat feature he discovered on his motion sensing gaming device turned out to be a video of something else entirely. Take a look.
Hey you guys, I just wanted to show you guys a pretty quick feature of the Xbox One and its Connect. It actually has a pretty cool night vision that I just found today. If you guys already know it has night vision, then I'm gonna show the people who don't know. So right now it's completely dark in this house right now. All you can basically see is my Xbox One controller. Now I'm gonna switch on the night vision for you guys. You can see it lights up the whole room. It's actually a pretty cool feature. I don't know if they have an app for this or whatnot, but they also have this version of the camera. I don't know what it is. I think it's either infrared or something like that. And then back to dark. As you can see, all you can see is my Xbox controller. And then back to night vision. It's actually, pretty cool feature for the Xbox
I
Connect
missed
that
it. I don't know
I
what.
haven't really heard of until now. Maybe they have an app for it or something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Right when Marvin turns off the lights and activates night vision mode on the sensor, two shadow-like figures can be seen manifesting behind him in what appears to be the kitchen. The first one is seen moving about for just a few seconds before heading downwards and then disappearing, whereas the other shadow appears afterwards and vanishes soon after night vision mode is turned back on. It's obvious that he hadn't noticed this until rewatching the footage, and, as you might expect, it was after watching it that he couldn't help but think that something unexplainable was caught on camera. Now, most viewers seem to believe that a ghost or an entity of some kind was caught on film,
I don't.
but like with most videos, we
That-
can't be
yeah,
sure if that's
that's-
the case.
I believe
As
them.
always, it's
I-
up to
I don't
you
see
to
what
conclude as
they're
to whether or not a
doing
ghost
there.
was caught on camera. Until more evidence or context is given on the situation, Marvin's case remains a mystery.
Yeah, I believe there's. I don't know if it's a spirit. I don't know what that is, but
This
I don't-
next video shows a father who's recording his son playing a video game when something very unsettling is caught on tape. The father in question is known as Ernesto Espinoza, and he's been uploading videos of his family on his YouTube channel. Although each video shows nothing more than a father who's enjoying the time he spends with his family, 2 videos in particular stand out from the rest. Unlike the other videos, these 2 have shown something that has caused concern among viewers of his content. The first video was posted not too long ago, and what's captured in it is pretty creepy. Be sure to look closely, or you'll miss it.
Ya suyo, ya la tienen ahí. Ya la tienen ganada. Eso. Qué pro. ¿No se oyó la canción?
In case you missed it, if you look closely at the pile of toys in the corner, a baby doll can be seen moving on its own.
What?
Ernesto hadn't noticed this until viewers had pointed this out.
I didn't notice
Now,
it.
though this video has convinced most people that Ernesto's family is being haunted by something, it's the second video that has caused the most concern. At the start of the clip, we can see his daughter dancing around in
That's
what
a nice
appears to be
house.
the living room, when all of a sudden, something truly frightening is caught in the background. Take a look.
Oh, yeah.
As the little girl dances around the room, a dark figure passes by quickly inside another room before the door shuts on its own. Like the video before, viewers have suggested to Ernesto that he and his family should leave the house immediately. Although he appreciates the concern, it seems that he won't be leaving anytime soon, given that there haven't been any more strange occurrences in his home. But until something like this happens again, it seems that Ernesto and his family will continue to carry on with their lives. The question still remains though, had something paranormal been caught on camera, or was something else caught instead?
That's a better video than the other. I didn't see the baby doll one at all, almost at all. I mean, I
The following
understand,
video was
but
suggested by Melanie M.
I wouldn't even
who
caught that.
writes,
But
"When
that
I was a
last one was
child,
good.
I used to watch a lot of TV. I would usually watch whatever, including the commercials. Yet, there is one commercial that I still remember to this present day, and just thinking about it scares me. This advertisement was shown in Chile, where I was born, and when I first saw it, I immediately noticed something strange about it. Now it's worth mentioning that Melanie wasn't the only person who had noticed this, as someone else had posted a video of the strange commercial, and just like Melanie, they were left disturbed upon spotting what they believe is a ghost hidden in this advertisement. Now thankfully, I was able to find a better quality video of this commercial. I'll play the entire ad before showing where the supposed ghost is hidden. That being said, see if you can spot the apparition in this ad. On the window, a faint reflection of what appears to be a grim-looking face can be seen midway through the commercial. It appears for only a few seconds before the scene changes and the face is no longer seen. Now the face doesn't appear to have the same features as the woman sitting on the couch, which has led viewers like Melanie to believe that a ghost was caught on camera.
Why is it grim?
If no one else had been around, then whose face was this?
I mean, it's a good catch.
Perhaps this might have been a cameraman who accidentally recorded their own reflection. Whether ghost or not, one thing's for sure. The appearance of whatever this is pretty unsettling. But as always, what do you
I don't think so.
If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. The following photo was submitted by Tona Putra, who writes, "There was a family in Indonesia who went to a cemetery to commemorate members of their family who have died. The family was at the cemetery for almost the entire day. During the evening time, before leaving the cemetery, they were taking a lot of photos. Most of them were just random, but when they got home, they noticed that one photo had caught something in it that was strange. The following is the picture the family had taken.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
According to Tono, the family had no clue as to who this person was. They were the only ones there and were sure that whoever or whatever this was not one of them. Now, because this photo was taken at a cemetery, Tono believes that an entity was caught in the photograph. The family also thinks that something supernatural was caught in the photo. They believe that this may have been the ghost of a child whose own gravesite is at this cemetery. Although it's not clear as to who, or maybe even what this might have been, the picture has left them spooked. If the family had been the only ones there, then who was this?
You don't need to. I hate that. You don't need to ask those
On
things.
August 6th of 2016,
We don't know.
a small channel had
If
posted
you
a
don't
video
know.
of two security guards who appear to be inside a school. The footage seems to have come from Argentina, given the language that is spoken by both men in the video. They seem to be the only ones inside the school. However, in the video, one security guard tells the other that he can hear noises coming from down the hall. Although one of them is hesitant at first, they proceed to check out the noise. What happens then has left them spooked. This is what they caught.
Sí, boludo, hace un refrío. Pero acá parece que hace más frío porque dice cuando hace frío que es por algo, digamos.
¿Dónde escuchas, boludo? Acá hay ruido en toda la escuela.
Pero sí, boludo, ¿no escuchaste? ¿Ves escuchar? ¿Escuchás, boludo? ¿No escuchás?
Que nada, boludo. A ver, ah, pensé que... Ah, hay como una cortina de vidrio.
Sí.
¿Dónde escuchaste, boludo?
No sé, boludo, para mí que por allá. O ahí, no sé. Mira, mira. Por acá era.
No, boludo, ¿viste, boludo? ¿Viste eso? Ah, boludo. Aguantá, boludo, aguantá. Aguantá.
After panning the camera towards an empty classroom, we can see a chair that is strangely placed near the doorway. It isn't until seconds later that the chair moves on its own, causing both men to flee as far away from the site. The video's description claims that both men had encountered something paranormal, which appears to be the case. Although most viewers believe that something paranormal had occurred, a few believe that this might have been done with practical effects. Some believe that a string was used to pull this off. Now, because the guard didn't go inside the class to show that no one was hiding inside, it's hard to be sure if it's real or not.
Only you
I'll
would
leave
know.
it to you to
It's
decide as
your
to whether
video,
or not
bud.
something paranormal had occurred. Had both guards encountered something beyond explanation, or was this something else?
We don't know. We have no idea.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next time. On November 14 of 2025, a small family rents out an Airbnb for a few days, unaware that they would encounter something very unsettling while staying there. They had booked the place in advance for an upcoming wedding that was out of town, so staying here made sense. But one night, after coming back from walking their dog, this happens.
We were just out walking my dog,
Oh, this one was creepy.
and when we came in, we heard.
I've seen this one. This one's creepy. I would not like this place. It's not so much this right here. This is a good one. This is a good video. Yep. None of that stuff is like that. I don't even remember that happening. I wouldn't like this. It wrapped it around its neck.
Somehow, the leash on her dog's collar suddenly jolts up in a quick motion before wrapping itself around her dog. It just flings up as if someone had chucked it upwards, but clearly, no one is seen on the stairs to have done that, which is very odd considering that just moments ago this was heard. Now Sydney, who recorded this video, was just as baffled as the Airbnb host who received this video from her. But this wouldn't be the only video she sends, because the next day, while placing the leash on the stairs to see if it would jump again, this is captured.
Okay, so this is the leash.
That alone wouldn't make me think that the spirit was nasty. Because I would think maybe it was trying to be helpful. Like, you know, like the dog, like it'll go up the stairs if it has its leash secured. Maybe it doesn't want to drag its leash. But it's not until she starts parroting to this little door.
She's gonna move, but she's definitely
And what hold on, it gets better. It has to lead to that. They have to figure out where to go.
Although the leash doesn't move this time, her dog goes ahead and does this. For some reason, it's at the same time the leash is on the steps that her dog begins to search for something. But like before, nothing appears to be there. Sydney even checks the rug to see if anything on or under it was making her dog behave this way. But still, nothing. However,
Yeah, like what
there's
would be
something
there?
in this video that's worth pointing out, and it's a detail that appears in other videos that Sydney recorded of her dog. Watch closely.
So I wanted to show you guys some footage of my dog with these stairs. So here's another clip that I got of her doing it, walk over and see her, and she was so locked into this.
Now, if you didn't notice, in each video, Sydney's dog is always around a certain area of the stairs. It's always the middle or lower half of the steps, but never the top. If it wasn't for this detail, Sydney would not have realized this.
So I think I figured out why my dog just is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up. Yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below.
Considering that the space is on the ground, it explains why her dog is never seen on top. She seems to be sensing something that's in this room. But the question is, what exactly is she sensing? Wanting to find out, Sydney and her sister probe around the space to see what it might be that's inside. But during this moment, while recording, they capture this.
So this is the switch. You guys can see their light is on right there. I wonder if
This is when it gets really weird. This is when I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it. But although she is being annoying, you are being like, once you start meddling, you're kind of asking for it. They don't like it. Like, get away. I'm actually recording her on.
Oh no, you're good. Hello, people of the internet. I bring snacks.
Almost
you,
immediately
thank you.
after Sydney pulls out her phone, the doorknob suddenly turns.
Thank you.
Although no one was seen on the
We're
other
watching
side,
that creepy
the door
one.
handle moves
Yeah, I
as
know,
if
I'm
nothing
watching
They
from
took the
other end.
phone and the.
Now Sydney was under the impression that a
Not
person had
this.
turned the knob, so they reach out to the Airbnb host and ask if anyone else is renting the place.
Sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb, and hold on, let me turn asking, like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week.
After finding out that no one else is inside, Sydney concludes that what happened that night wasn't a case of someone co-renting the house, but rather another paranormal occurrence. To her, this is much preferable over having a stranger inside the house. But despite being at ease now, knowing that it's not a person, the doorknob incident still baffles her. This is so, especially given that it still moves now and then.
Yeah. Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
I think it gets irritated because she's being annoying. You know, they're being annoying. Like, if they feel like they're backed into a certain area, like, let them be. Like, you don't go pushing. It's annoying. This right here, the fact that, number one, like, they had to have kicked that, like, they would have had to toss that, like, they're going to show it in a minute, but, like, a long distance to get it down the stairs, but this right now, like, this is, like, oh my god, still to this day gives me, like bejeebies, because this is not a nice one. I don't know what it is about the energy of this one. It picked the phone up. Oh my god, that's creepy.
As it turns out, this room was actually a basement. Out of nowhere, the phone gets yanked inside before tumbling down the steps and landing on its face. But it's before it tumbles that something weird happens. If you didn't notice, the phone moves on its own again before falling down. But of course, the strangest part is when the phone somehow lifts itself. Neither Sydney nor the Airbnb host could explain this. It just rises up before falling back with no footsteps around to suggest that someone was there. It's no wonder why many see this as being paranormal. To Sydney and her sister, that's exactly the case. Whatever had been inside did not seem to like their intrusion, from the leash moving on its own to the phone being pulled inside. It currently remains unknown as to what exactly occurred here, but as with all videos, you be the judge on whether or not something supernatural took place. As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
Probably didn't like that they had a dog there. That's what I sense. They didn't like sharing this space with a dog.
Was recorded by a grandmother who lives alone with her dog and 2 cats. However, it appears that her pets aren't the only ones keeping her company, because according to her, there's something in her house that won't leave her alone.
В зеркале было отражение чего-то не очень непонятного на видео. Я вам всем докажу.
According to Polina, last night she recorded a video of something that appeared in her bedroom. It showed up in the same spot where it often appears, around the mirror. She's been trying to get it on camera as her family believes it's nothing. They believe it's her old age that's making her see things. But after watching this video, they're not so sure now if that's the case. Take a look.
She's not that old.
Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи отсюда. Уходи из моего дома. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
That's like, it's a good idea to tell them you're not afraid of them, but it's not a good idea to force them out, but they were there first.
Уходи отсюда. Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь.
It's not like hurting anything though.
Уходи. Уходи, я сказала. Уходи
I mean,
отсюда.
why?
Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
After Polina realizes that what she'd seen wasn't there, she catches sight of this, a dangling ornament beneath the lamp, moving on its own.
That's cool.
However, it wasn't just swaying back and forth as one would expect. It was curving upwards in a strange manner that neither a draft or wind current could cause. Now, whatever happened that night is something that remains uncertain. In either case, whether paranormal or not, just seeing this out of nowhere is unsettling. But one night, Polina decides to record again because apparently she saw the same figure hiding inside her fireplace. Take a look.
It manifested its face. A lot of times, to just conserve energy, spirits will just
Like
manifest
something
their
out of a nightmare,
face.
what looks like a head suddenly appears in the fireplace, and the freakiest part is that it shows itself right when Polina starts to get close. It's
Yeah.
as if whatever this was had realized she was approaching. Understandably, she was freaked out by this, but
course it
more
did.
so after going back to the space and seeing the fireplace completely empty now. Like before, what she saw initially is now gone. Now currently, no new videos have been shared by Polina, whether supernatural or something else. These two clips are without a doubt pretty terrifying. Now the following video comes from a young mother named Akina, and ever since having her
They weren't
first
being mean to
child,
her.
she's been posting numerous videos of her baby boy. It's her first child, so it makes sense that she would want to capture every moment involving her son Ponko. From the time he was born to the moment he got his first playpen, Akina has been sharing lots of memories involving Ponko on her page. However, not every moment has been shared online, and for good reason. On January 29th of 2024, at around 2:30 in the morning, Akina was dead asleep when she suddenly woke up to something in her bedroom. Thankfully, little Ponko was unaware of what was happening because during this moment, something pretty frightening happened. The following is what was caught. Take a look.
The alarm is going off. Was it a mimic? I wouldn't go chasing it. This is her. I think she's just standing there trying to figure out what the hell's going on. If she was standing there. I hurt my ears.
It's no wonder why Akina didn't want to share this video initially. Now, besides the fact that the door opens and closes all by itself, there's something Akina mentions that makes this whole video even more terrifying. According to her, at this moment, she had seen a figure standing at the doorway which looked a lot like her husband. But the weird part about this is that her husband had not come home from work yet. It was only a few hours before he came back, but strangely, to Akina, he was there, just staring at her from a distance. Now clearly, no one is there. However, if you listen closely to the audio, you can hear Akina's security alarm going off as though someone entered the house.
Yep. I'd be afraid it was like an intruder.
It's for this reason she leaves the room to turn it off and to chase her husband, who was walking away at this point. But it's from this moment that things start to get creepier, because not long after, Akina acts strange. From standing motionless at the door to quickly coming in and sitting down in a rigid manner, it's almost as if Akina was someone else. But as it turns out, she was just scared. Because after heading downstairs to see where her husband had gone, she saw that all the lights were still off and the door still locked. Her husband, as it seems, was not home yet. Freaked out, she heads back up and sits down while trying to figure out what just happened. If he wasn't home, then who was? She continues to replay this moment in her head, despite occurring a while ago. But until it's figured out what happened, she'll continue to keep this video up on her page while sharing more videos of her son. For now, this occurrence remains a mystery. In this next video, a mother had recently shared a clip that freaked her out after noticing what was in it. One day, while looking at her security cameras, Adrian Dakota notices something inside her living room, but more specifically, around her child's playpen. She wasn't sure as to what she was seeing, so she zooms in and replays the video to check. It goes without saying, but what she saw continues to keep her up at night. Now, it's important to note that before this incident, Adrian had already been documenting strange things around her house, and for some reason, these occurrences had something to do with her children's toys.
Probably like a child spirit, maybe?
Now, it might be easy to write this off as being just a glitch or a toy that's starting to malfunction, but what's strange is that this was happening day after day, one toy turning on after another. And that's without mentioning that during this time, Adrian's daughter had an imaginary friend who she said was very tall. Now keep this imaginary friend in mind, because this detail becomes important much later in the video she recently posted.
There might be two spirits then,
the
because
reason why she was so freaked out by the toys turning on was because prior to this, her daughter kept mentioning this imaginary friend.
A tall spirit is not a child.
Friend would show up in places where her daughter said it was, usually inside the house near the toys. Adrian was so frightened by this, but
there's
more
probably
so by
a child spirit with
according
this
to
one.
Her, while taking care of her second child in another room, something terrifying appears in her living room. This is what she caught.
What's that? Oh, what is that? Oh, it's a child.
To Adrian, it appears that someone or something peeks out from
There's
behind her
two
baby's
of 'em.
playpen. Thankfully, her child
There's at
wasn't
least
in there
two.
during this moment. But strangely, even though no baby was occupying it, the figure itself looks like one. Whether it's just pareidolia or not, it's obvious that something is there. Considering that a bowl just fell off the shelf with no apparent cause, Adrian can't help but wonder if whatever this was had been responsible for the other occurrences before.
Yeah.
It is strange how each occurrence involves one of her children's things. Whether it's their toys or their small play enclosure, something unexplainable happens around them. This, of course, brings up the question, could this have been the supposed imaginary friend her daughter had previously mentioned? Or might this be something else entirely? Currently, and unfortunately, there is yet to be a definitive answer to this question.
How would there ever be?
Now, the following video was submitted to me by Ariane B, who writes that she took this video during a school field trip to the Philippines. It was 2010 when she recorded this, so understandably, the quality isn't that good. But despite being filmed on a cheap cell phone, she was able to capture something pretty noticeable on camera. And of course, what she notices is pretty creepy. According to her, she was taking a tour of an old fortress where many soldiers had lost their lives. This fortress is known as Fort Mills, and the section of this fort that Ariane was touring is known as Battery Grubs, a section where both Filipino and American soldiers had sacrificed their lives while defending against invading forces in 1942. While touring Battery Grubs, Ariane captures this.
Yeah, that's weird. He looked like he was on like a...
Now it's been 15 years since this video was taken, and Ariane hadn't realized what was captured until rewatching this footage recently. On the upper level of this barrack, there appears to be something moving, but it doesn't look like a tourist who was just wandering. Rather,
like gliding.
it looks like a moving blurb that disappears in an instant. Now of course, given the camera's low quality, this might have just been a camera artifact, or in other words, a visual glitch. But it's worth noting that this only appears once throughout the entire video. Never again do we see anything like this afterward, suggesting that maybe this wasn't the camera acting up, but instead something that was actually
I don't
there.
think it can act
As
up
Ariane
like that.
believes, this blurb was most likely the spirit of one of the soldiers who passed away during battle here. Perhaps this is them still living out the same scenario that played out during 1942, unaware that they're no longer alive. It's a sad thought,
No,
but
usually
nevertheless, this footage creeps out
Yeah.
Ariane. So then, just what exactly was caught on camera at this fort? If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. Now, it's often the case that videos on the paranormal take place inside a home. It's usually the setting that makes small disturbances feel twice as scary, but the same can be said for any place where something that shouldn't occur happens. Such is the case in this next video, where a group of Philippine students had caught something on camera inside an empty restroom, but as you'll see, it definitely wasn't. Take a look.
That's sad.
Out of nowhere, the sound of a child crying emanates from inside the restroom. But the thing is, they're nowhere to be seen. The only thing that
We
is
got
seen
that
are the
button.
empty stalls where just moments ago, the door to one of them began to open on its own. But even without seeing this, the voice alone is pretty unnerving. It's enough to make anyone just run away. Now, very little info is available on this clip, but what was captured is just one instance of something supernatural that occurred here. This school is said to be haunted. So then, was a ghost caught on camera, or had something else been captured? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and make sure to hit the bell. In the following video, a mother named Aaliyah is recording her daughter who just had a night terror.
I love the name Aaliyah. If I had a daughter, I would name her Aaliyah.
Aaliyah's daughter has been suffering from night terrors for the past few weeks now, which according to her child's doctor is a common phase that most children her age experience. But one night, Aaliyah wakes up to find her daughter on her bed crying intensely than ever before. It seems that she just had the most severe night terror ever. Her night terror was so intense that she ran straight into her mother's room. So, Aaliyah immediately records this video to show her child's doctor. But while recording, this happens.
Don't be scared, baby. Come on here, big girl. Come here, big girl. Come on, big girl. It's okay. There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent pushes the door. You're fine, okay? Are you big girl? You're scared, just remember. Baby Lenny's here, mommy's here. We're all gonna be together in the same house. It's gonna be okay. Let's go to bed.
The fuck does that even... What does that mean? We're all gonna be together in the same house? That was really comforting.
What are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
I mean...
Just as Aaliyah sees her daughter staring at the shutters, she points the camera
that's
way
weird.
and captures this. The blinds suddenly closing on their own. But it's not just a few that close up, but rather all 4 shutters at the same time, which is made creepier when listening to the audio closely. It sounds as if someone or something had forcefully shut them. Naturally, they make
get
a
out
run for it and spend the rest of the night inside Mom's room. Now the next day, Aaliyah makes a video talking about these shutters. She shows how hard it is for all 4 to close at once unless someone had moved each rod on each window at the same time.
You have to be physically standing by the blinds in order to close them like this. And also, all 4 of them close at the exact same time. There's not electronic, it's not battery powered,
That's not creepy.
What's the vent, I thought, right? Mom? The vent that wasn't on?
trying my best not to freak out. So, to close these...
Eerily, the door behind Aaliyah starts to move on its own. It happens right as she explains how the shutters work, which is made creepier considering what just happened last night.
Yes.
That's not even the weirdest part, because later she points out something that makes last night's incident with the moving door even harder to explain.
So, the AC was not on when the door closed. It's very loud. And you can hear it coming from the vent. The air vent could not have pushed this door closed in that other video because the air was not on, the AC was not on.
Now, even with the AC on, the door doesn't close. She was initially wrong for thinking the door had closed because of it.
There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent?
It was never on to begin with, which she demonstrates by comparing the difference in sound from both clips.
It's okay.
So then, if it wasn't the AC, then what had moved the door? Like the shutters, this one doesn't make any sense. Although creeped out by all of this, Aaliyah feels oddly relieved knowing that her child's night terrors might not be from nothing, but caused by something else. Currently, she plans to keep her daughter away from this room until she figures out what to do next. But until further updates are given, this video will continue to remain a mystery. As always, let me know your thoughts on this one. Now, this next video was recorded by an overnight security guard who works at a cemetery. One night, while doing his rounds, he records a video for his brother-in-law whom he wanted to show the crematorium that's on this property. Apparently, it gets pretty creepy once it's dark, and he wanted to show him why he doesn't like patrolling this area. Now, for those who don't know, a crematorium is a place where the deceased are cremated and essentially reduced to ashes. These remains are then put inside urns, which the families then keep. But knowing what goes on back here only makes what was captured that much more unsettling. As the guard records this video, he captures this.
They turn off automatically at a certain hour. And I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk you through. Now I have a friend that works that he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here, they usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out.
Oh no. What happened?
As if the crematorium wasn't already creepy enough, this occurrence made it worse. Now something odd happens when he passes by the furnaces and it's heard on camera. A loud tapping sound is picked up by the mic, but strangely, it happens only when he passes by the furnaces.
Now I have a friend that works.
Yep, I heard that
Even
too.
if the chamber was somehow messing with the phone's mic, it doesn't explain what happens next, because out of nowhere, an urn from across the room starts to vibrate. Only this one begins to move, and not a single other urn does the same. Now
I wouldn't
that's
have even
creepy,
noticed that.
But it doesn't stop there, because moments later, this happens. The urn's lid begins to creep open by itself.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Seeing this, he bolts out in a panic frenzy before stopping to catch his breath and seeing this. It's as if someone had walked out from inside. Having no explanation for this or this, he clocks out immediately and tells his boss what just happened. Now, while there haven't been any updates, it's safe to say the security guard will be keeping his distance from this place. For now, not much else is known about that night or how the urn had seemingly came alive. But one thing's for sure though, if that specific urn actually had remains inside, then what just happened becomes a whole lot creepier.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. What? Doesn't matter where the ghost came
The
from?
following video comes from a mother named Misty Huron who recently posted something that she normally doesn't post. Unlike all her videos, this one has left many of her followers deeply concerned and completely spooked. It's a short clip she recorded from her baby monitor, which shows her daughter sleeping inside her crib. But what's strange about this is that even though she was fast asleep, the camera was picking up movement. Clearly, her daughter wasn't moving as much, so there had to be something else in there that was. According to Misty, the only explanation that would have made sense was if her older daughter was still sleeping in this room. However, she isn't.
So we moved my daughter out of this room. Now she's across the hall. But we got all the furniture in, the TV hung. That is like a...
She recently moved into another room inside this house. So, if it's not her other daughter, then who or what is moving? Misty continues to watch to see if anything appears, but nothing does. But after looking closely, she sees it. This is what she saw.
Yeah.
Eerily, it appears that someone or something is on the bunk bed. However, no one was sleeping on this bunk bed, let alone staying in this room. Her older daughter used to sleep here, but now she has her own space, which begs the question, just who exactly was on this? Misty
Dynamite.
has yet to figure this out, which is why she's been posting videos about this in the hopes that someone can. Needless to say, it's pretty freaky.
I gotta let
But
my
one
cat
night,
out.
while
One
touring
second,
this
okay?
exact room where the figure
Come on,
was seen,
Dynamite.
something completely unexpected happens. Watch.
Come on. Wanna get out?
Okay, a lot of y'all were asking about the room situation, so I'm gonna run that through real quick. We moved my daughter from this room
Go.
into this room. She got new
Go,
furniture.
please.
That's why the bunk bed is still in there. This is the attic
Pepper.
that's in between the rooms that I was talking about that's cracked. It's been that way for a while, so it's not something that I'm overly concerned about, but y'all have got me freaking out in the comments. I cannot even breathe walking in this room, so I am truly terrified, but
What are you doing?
I'm gonna walk y'all in here real quick.
Oh, good. Love.
This is the bunk bed. This is where I took her out of her crib, ran up the bunk bed. There was nothing up there when I came. We have her rocking chair, her changing station, her closet with all of the
She had
stuff
her
that we
light
still
on,
need to put up. This
so
is
she
where I
wanted
have
to
everything
come.
that was gifted. I know a lot of y'all were saying check stuff that came from a thrift store that wasn't yours because it might be causing it.
Hosanna had her
I'll show
light
you
on,
guys up here.
so she wanted to come out.
There's nothing suspicious. There's no hair from like a rat or something that could have came in. This is marker.
Ew, that'd be
These
a
are
big
still
rat,
tucked in
dude.
on the sides, like they're still tight from, you know, if somebody was trying to be underneath the blankets. I don't think that's plausible. So I don't know. I have no idea what could be causing it. Oh my God, it's rocking.
All of a sudden, a rocking chair that's placed in the corner of this room begins to rock on its own. But oddly enough, no one else was around to have moved it. Considering what was seen on camera just a few nights ago, Misty can't help but think that her room is haunted. Understandably, since then, she hasn't been inside and won't go in until her husband comes back from his business trip. But until he does, it seems that Misty won't know for sure as to who or what was caught on camera.
I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody, so...
Now this next video comes from Arizona, where there's a road where many accidents have taken place. The road in question is known as Lower Buckeye, and just last year, someone had caught something strange on their dash cam while passing through here. On April 30th of 2024, Tasha Moran was driving down this stretch of highway, unaware that she was about to witness something quite disturbing. She was driving down the supposedly haunted highway when suddenly her dash cam captures this.
Yeah, what was it?
There's something on the side of the road that the camera picks up. It happens quickly, but if you slow the footage, you'll notice what looks like something hunched over.
Yeah, it's weird
a bit
looking.
hard to tell, but many of those who've seen this clip believe that whatever this was is evidence of something supernatural, especially after seeing the figure seemingly appear out of nowhere in front of the first car ahead. Given the countless stories of those who've seen things here at night, Tasha agrees that whatever this was had to be something unexplainable. While it isn't certain if that's the case, one thing seems pretty clear, and it's that whoever, or whatever this was, had definitely scared the living daylights out of someone who spotted them. So then, just who or what was seen late at night in the middle of nowhere? Now the following video takes place at a house where construction has been going on for quite some time. The person who took this is a carpenter who was recently hired to work on this property, but unbeknownst to him, this house would be the reason why he doesn't work here alone anymore. One day, while working by himself, strange noises start to emanate from inside the house.
But yeah. Oh, well, what the hell? This is what I'm talking about. You guys heard that? Whoa. I don't want to go up there. I do not.
According to the carpenter, no one else was home. Both the property owner and the construction crew who are usually seen here are away for the weekend, which of course doesn't help to make things any less creepy. If no one is here, then what were those noises? While it's possible that a stranger had sneaked in without him noticing, this next part is what makes this whole video pretty creepy, as it seems to hint that maybe it's not a stranger. Now after hearing what sounded like footsteps, the carpenter proceeds to show the basement, This is where he claims to have had another creepy experience from days before, but while showing it, this happens.
Oh, I seen like an elbow leave this room, but there's nobody else that lives here. This is my client's house. Oh, I swear. Oh my God. Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there. This is shaking. There's nobody else in the house with me. I swear. This is where I heard those footsteps at. Oh, what the? Oh, it's coming from here. Oh, there's a little. Oh my goodness. That right there. That right there is always.
Pepper.
Talk right.
Get off.
Doing this job out here, look at. See this job? Doing this right here. And man, I'm seeing things.
It's a beautiful house.
Still shaking, dude. I can't even look at it. Oh, maybe somebody's out there so haunted. What the? Yo, this is moving and this is moving. Why isn't this one moving? I'm used to this already. You know what I mean? Like, don't follow me home.
It's at this point where the supposed break-in turns into something else entirely. Not one, but several lights begin to swing on their own. And to make things even creepier, just as the first light continues to sway, a sudden noise erupts from the display cabinet behind the carpenter.
Oh, what the? Oh, it's coming from here. Oh, it's a little. Oh my goodness.
The porcelain doll only makes the encounter that much more unsettling, but overall, this whole experience has left him beyond spooked. He continues to work here given that he was contracted, but currently, and perhaps to his relief, nothing has happened since then. Yet still, the question remains, just what exactly took place inside this house? As with all videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. As is often the case with paranormal videos, it's usually clips involving children that tend to be the creepiest. That said, even though this next clip is pretty short, its inclusion of a child and something supernatural makes it worth watching. On September 26 of 2025, an aunt records her niece eating breakfast on the kitchen table. It's a seemingly innocent video that was taken 2 years ago, but even to this day, this footage continues to replay in the aunt's mind, as what was captured here is pretty creepy. Watch closely. Like something out of a horror movie, a dark silhouette passes by in the background. It moves slowly, which somehow makes it creepier. But the creepiest part about this, and probably the strangest, is that the light bulb appears to go out when it passes by. It's as though its presence is extremely draining. But that's not all, because apparently, if you look closely at the fridge, you'll notice a reflection. But there's something about it that seems very off. As many have noted, it looks as if the reflection doesn't match the child's. It's almost like it's looking back at her. Now, of course, it isn't clear enough to be sure if that's so. Whether pareidolia or something else, it's still pretty creepy to look at. But still, it's the shadow in this video that many are finding hard to explain. Although this clip was filmed a while ago, it's still just as creepy now as it was then. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and make sure to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads.
Probably watch one more, and then I will jump off until next time because I'm so tired. But I'm going to do these more often.
Rents out an Airbnb for a few days, unaware that they would encounter something very unsettling.
How does this loop back around?
They had booked the place in advance.
I mean, he's got like all these different videos. Like, alright. This one's a little bit older, but that's okay. Yeah, we might not watch the entire
at night and does something that
30
has left
videos.
its parents completely disturbed. This footage was taken in the middle of the night when all of a sudden this happens. Somehow, the child maintains a perfect balance as it reaches out towards something. Viewers believe that it's reaching out to a paranormal entity inside the room. Whether it's malicious or not is unknown, but given the situation the child is in, some believe that a sinister presence was responsible for the child's behavior. Although we don't know for sure if it's something paranormal, the piercing scream of the child is without a doubt pretty chilling. Not much else is known about the video, but the footage itself is enough for us to know that what happened that night is beyond strange. A man is woken up by a mysterious noise when something very strange is caught on camera. This video was posted about 9 months ago, and the person who recorded this says that while spending the night at his aunt's house, which is very old, unusual events took place. This is the video he took.
Still hearing voices. Jesus Christ. Now you're knocking again.
Yeah, that's not a nice one.
A child's voice is heard close to the camera. In a frantic motion, the person recording fled from the room.
I don't think who was knocking was a child.
Coming out of nowhere. Not much else is known about the video, which makes it even more mysterious. But even without it, the encounter itself is scary alone. A security guard named Simon Lockhart works the night shift at a hotel. The hotel is believed to be haunted, as there have been multiple reports of paranormal sightings. One night, while being on duty, Simon checks on a noise that seems to be coming from an attic space inside the hotel. He goes in and encounters something pretty strange. Watch.
I'm over at the restaurant right now that's connected to our hotel. The door's been wide open, and they said they've seen lights going on and off in here. This is the attic area. Very, very narrow stairs, and I just smashed my head on this freaking pipe. Hello? There's no one here. There's no one here. Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay. I'm out. I'm out. Okay. Just leave me alone.
Simon was immediately rushed to the hospital after falling from the attic. He says that an unseen force had tugged on his shirt, but has no clue as to what exactly touched him. Even more strange is that before the so-called accident, he heard a clear voice say "get out" as soon as he entered the attic. Viewers believe that a spirit dwells inside and was upset with Simon for coming in. Simon agrees, as the attack was similar to that of someone who encounters a trespasser. This video was taken over a year ago, and it seems that paranormal activity still occurs at this hotel. Yet, out of all paranormal experiences Simon has had, this one has got to be the scariest. This next video comes from a man named Brandon Costa, who was woken up by a strange noise outside his room. He proceeds to take out his phone and record the strange event, but what he captures leaves him deeply unsettled. Now, according to Brandon, he had played with the Ouija board a few days before. Because of this, he believes that what happened that night was paranormal in nature. All in all, this incident has spooked him to his core.
Ay, cabrón. No manches. ¿Qué era eso? No. Ay, no manches.
Eerily enough, a face can be seen peeping at Brandon before disappearing from sight. But, scariest of all, the bedroom door suddenly closes on its own. Given that Brandon had played with the Ouija board before this, viewers aren't surprised that this happened. But still, what he encountered is absolutely terrifying. This next video has very little information, but it still speaks for itself. A child is seen sleeping in their crib, when all of a sudden, something pretty creepy is caught on camera. It's worth noting that this incident took place at exactly 3:33 a.m., which many people believe means something. Whether it signifies something good or bad, the incident itself is pretty strange. The child is sleeping when this happens. For some mysterious reason, the child wakes up and then quickly stands before staring at something in the room. They stare at whatever it is that's in the dark, when seconds later, a toy or some sort of music box goes off by itself. Then, without warning, the crib shakes on its own. No other information is given on this video, and the original source is unknown, but I'll leave it to you to come up with your own conclusions on this footage.
Pepper.
The following footage was shot by someone who in the video seems to be taking in the view of the river before them. All appears to be normal until the camera catches something in the distance. Upon zooming in, it becomes apparent that whatever was caught on camera had most likely ruined the mood of the person recording. Now there isn't that much info on the clip, but it still speaks for itself. This is what was captured.
Cachoeira em Leeds, Rio de Janeiro. Reparem no visual, na mata. Agora o melhor de tudo é essa queda d'água. Muito tinha um cara ali no meio da água. Mozinho! Mozinho, você viu o cara no meio da água? Caraca! Ali, mozinho!
Not too far from the camera, there seems to be someone or something bathing in the roaring rapids of the river. After being splashed by countless river waves, the figure all of a sudden vanishes.
It's probably like an
It's as though the
elemental.
waves had washed away the shadowy form, but then suddenly it comes back for a split second before being taken away by the river again. Now, even if we don't know what the person behind the camera is saying, we can hear it in their voice how surprised they are by the strange figure in the distance. Unfortunately, the lack of info on this video makes it likely that we'll never know for sure who or what was seen.
Who would that be? Aquaman?
As with most videos found online, this next one has little to no information. It is still nonetheless very strange. Although not enough context is given on the clip, a viewer of the video comments that it came from someone who's been dealing with unusual occurrences at home. They placed the camera inside their bedroom to capture the strange events that often happen inside. It appears to be late at night when the following happens. Watch. The man is suddenly lifted off the bed as though something is pulling him upwards from his feet. In a panic frenzy, the man scoots all the way over to the other end of the bed, seemingly trying to make sense of what just happened. The video then cuts to black. The lack of a backstory to this video keeps it shrouded in mystery, making it a bit harder to know what exactly occurred. But what's your stance on this? Real or not? I'll let you be the judge. Zoe, Bruno, and her family live on a farm that they believe is haunted. Based on videos that Zoe has posted, viewers believe that it's not just haunted, but also cursed. In a recent video, Zoe shared that one of her pigs had given birth to a pair of baby pigs born with unusual deformities. Unfortunately, they were born dead. Now, this was unlike anything the family has ever seen. Because of this, along with other strange occurrences, they believe that something very odd is happening on their farm. But then one night, something really terrifying was caught on camera. Zoe's sister was home alone when she heard weird noises coming from the pig stable outside. She began to record immediately. This is what was caught.
Hola chicos, estoy grabando este video porque mi papá y mi mamá se fueron a comprar una cosa en el almacén y mi hermano Seban está en la pieza, pero yo sentí el olor por acá. No sé qué está pasando, pero quiero tratar de grabar. ¡Ah! Miren eso. ¡Ah! ¡Ah!
If you look close enough, you can see what appears to be a face peeping from behind a wooden post. Whoever, or whatever this is definitely unsettling to look at. Naturally, Zoe's sister had reacted the way she did. She's alive and well, but mentally, she is not okay, for what she'd seen in the stable has left her shaken up. Her family has no idea as to what she'd seen, but viewers seem to think that it was something supernatural. Until Zoe posts more footage, we won't know for sure what this was. Currently, there has yet to be an update on this whole incident. A man named Jacob lives in a house that he recently inherited from his grandmother. Jacob isn't too sure if he wants the house, as it's out of shape and requires a lot of fixing. But after the following incident, it seems that he's already made up his mind. It's late at night when Jacob wakes up to a noise inside his bedroom. This
I
is
like
what he
that. I like that clown thing.
I just heard knocking from the closet.
knocking sound can be heard coming from the closet. However, when he checks inside, nothing is in there. But then, moments later, loud banging can be heard from the other side of the room. Clearly, Jacob was spooked out of his mind. Yet something else happened that Jacob didn't realize until rewatching this video. At the start of the clip, the clown doll on top of the drawer can be seen staring at the bed, but then later, it is seen staring at the door. Ever since seeing this, Jacob has moved the doll downstairs to the living room. He states that it came alive that night and is glad that he caught evidence of it. Although pretty spooky, the video remains a mystery. But thanks to this incident, Jacob has made up his mind on whether or not he should keep the house. Overall though, what happened that night has left him beyond terrified. When it comes to videos on poltergeist activity, it seems that the most believable ones are those in which the video was initially recorded for a different reason. In this case, YouTuber Mowgli85 was recording the trailer for the Simpsons movie from the film's official website for the sole purpose of uploading the trailer to his channel. However, while videotaping the trailer, something pretty creepy happens.
July and August, a line will be drawn, and then colored in yellow. Run! Run! Jump! Jump! Run! Run! I know we've had a rough day, but here we can put all that behind us. On July 27th, a secret will be revealed. Look at that. You can see the 4 states that border Springfield, Ohio, Nevada, Maine, and Kentucky. Oh, yeah.
Out of nowhere, things begin to move on their own. Now, after rewatching the video, viewers had pointed out that the Ouija board in the corner of the room might be the reason as to why all this is happening. According to Mowgli, he'd been playing with it prior to this incident. So, according to viewers, it makes sense that something like this would occur. But what do you think? Is this actual footage of something paranormal? Or is it simply a video that's been staged? There has yet to be a definitive answer to this question. The following video comes from James Fodder, who recently bought a doll from a secondhand store. Apparently, the doll is worth a lot more than what the store was selling it for. For this reason, James had bought the doll. However, ever since bringing it home, strange things have been happening. From hearing strange noises at night to seeing doors open and close on their own, James suspects that the doll might be responsible for the unusual activity. And so, he decides to record the doll in front of a camera inside an empty room. He hopes to capture footage of something that would prove it's haunted. Initially, nothing odd is captured in the first few days of recording, but then, one night, something very strange happens. Now, the camera that he uses is programmed to move wherever it picks up movement, so if something moves, it will point to that object. We can see it doing that in this footage, but strangely, the camera pans around the room as though it's picking up movement from somewhere. This is what was captured. Could it be that the camera is detecting an unseen presence? Or is it just not functioning properly? Although it's likely that there's a problem with the camera, something really creepy happens 2 nights later inside the room, which has made him think that the camera was actually picking up something. James is away from home when the following happens. He writes, "Just wow, I've been leaving the closets open in case anyone thinks I'm hiding inside. I don't even know what to say." This is what was captured.
We're doing.
I was making sure you're still with us.
Huh?
James's
I was
bathroom
making sure you're
comes
still
out
alive.
what appears to be a dark,
Still
shapeless figure.
I can't hear you.
It
What?
seems to
You're
dart
good.
across the
You're
floor
good.
before
What are you
disappearing
doing?
from sight.
I was just making sure you
James
fall asleep.
believes that this may have
I'm
been
not-
the
no, I'm just
apparition
like,
that was
I'm
being picked up
second-
earlier by the camera. He also thinks that this mysterious figure might be attached to the doll. Ever since then, he's been filming more at night. Little does he know that he'd be capturing something way more terrifying than this. James is sleeping in his room upstairs when the following happens.
Yeah, it's probably a vessel. That's annoying though to listen to. I have this terrible headache and it's like that noise specifically. It moved.
On camera, the doll moves on its own. It appears to move for just a few seconds before abruptly stopping. Feeling very unsettled, James posts the footage online to see if anyone could explain this video. It's not sure if he'll continue to hold on to this doll based on what occurred, but it might be best if he keeps it locked up inside this room, as an occurrence like this definitely warrants it. This next video was submitted by Aaron Tipsy, who states that a friend of his had sent him a creepy video. In it, Aaron's friend can be seen sleeping inside their bedroom when something downright terrifying is captured. It's around midnight when this is filmed.
Oh, I don't like that.
What better way to induce insomnia than by watching a video like this? Now, it's worth mentioning that the same video can be found on TikTok. However, the context given for that video is different from the one that was submitted to me. Aaron states that his friend has no recollection of ever doing this in their sleep, whereas the one on TikTok states that they were fully conscious when they did this. Whether conscious or not, the imagery of this video is still nonetheless pretty disturbing. All in all, this video is a great source of nightmare fuel. A salesman stays at a hotel and captures footage of something pretty disturbing. The following video comes from a salesman who was traveling overseas for a business trip. Due to travel restrictions affected by COVID, the salesman had self-quarantine for a total of 7 days. His self-quarantine took place at a hotel where he booked a room all for himself, but during the 7 days that he's there, something really creepy happens. On the second night of his quarantine, the salesman is talking to a friend via webcam when all of a sudden, this happens.
マジでなんか部屋間違えたんじゃない？
ほら、飯の時はノックされるんやけど、
隔離はいつまで？
まああと5日。
After checking to see who was knocking at his door, the salesman returns to his seat, seeming unfazed by the mysterious knocks. He chalks it up to a hotel employee who might have accidentally knocked on the wrong door. A few minutes pass, and the conversation between the two then segues to the topic of food served at the hotel. But as they continue to talk, something shakes up the salesman.
ああ、アジア料理が多いな、やっぱ。
また聞こえたね。
また？
今録画してるまだ。
してる。
あ、ちょっと待って。
何してんの？
ちょっと見て。
その強盗とかだったらやばいんじゃない？
まあ、証拠取れる。
あ、証拠？ちょっとフリーズしてるけど、証拠取れなくない？あ、大丈夫。いないじゃん。誰もいない。
誰もいないし。
おう。
見た。
前の部屋のやつがなんかいたずらでやってんじゃない？
It is at this moment when his friend thinks that a next-door neighbor is playing tricks on him, yet the salesman isn't sure if anyone is occupying the rooms near him. His friend then jokes that the room he is in might be haunted. The salesman doesn't think much of this and decides to go to bed. However, later that night, he is woken up by someone knocking at his door. Though this time, he fails to capture anything on camera as the knocking stopped when he started recording. But he was now more determined than ever to catch whoever it was that was playing with him. The next day, as he waits patiently for the knocks to occur, this happens. Once again, there is no one at the door. He checks both ends of the hallway, but not a single person is in sight. It is at this point that the salesman questions his sanity. But just when things couldn't get any more creepy, something else happens that has left him completely spooked. The following night, he is woken up once again by mysterious knockings, but this time, something far more unexplainable happens. After checking again to find no one at the door, the salesman turns around and sees all doors inside open. Naturally, he was in total shock. He was now convinced that the room he had booked is actually haunted. Perhaps his friend was right after all. Something is inside this room. It's what happens the following night, though, that leaves him beyond terrified. On the 6th night of his quarantine, he decides to use his PC camera to capture anything that may occur inside his room. The camera is left recording as he goes to bed. And, to no surprise, he is woken up by someone knocking at his door. But As he walks over to the entrance, the salesman immediately notices something odd. The knocking doesn't appear to be coming from outside, but rather from inside his room. Upon opening the door, he finds no one there. The salesman is at a loss for words. He is now sure that whatever is going on is beyond explanation. Now, it's a good thing the salesman had set up a second camera, as the following incident would have gone unnoticed. During the time he's inside the bathroom, a bottle falls on its own. If you look closely, you can see the bottle move slowly towards the edge before falling over. Like with all occurrences, this one has left him baffled. Luckily though, the salesman won't be staying here any longer, as the next day will be the end of his quarantine. To this day, he can't think of anything that could explain what happened in that room. The salesman thinks that the room might be haunted. But, like most videos, it's hard to be sure if that's the case. It's not certain if this whole incident was just a setup, or actual paranormal evidence. Until it's made clear as to what exactly happened, you be the judge on whether or not something paranormal occurred. For more info on this video, you can check out the channel Fourth Wall, where other paranormal clips can be found. In this next video, a man is hiking in a secluded forest when he stumbles upon a small house that seems to be abandoned. After hesitating at first, he later decides to get close to the property. What happens next is pretty terrifying. This is what he caught.
Fanas.
It appears that the house wasn't abandoned after all, yet it's unknown as to who or even what had been inside. Whether it was the owner of the house or something else, there's no denying that whoever or whatever this was has left the man completely disturbed. Maybe next time he'll think twice before entering a house in the middle of a forest. This next video comes from a man named Chris Hill, who you might recall from a previous video. From exploring abandoned places to seeing things that he can't explain, Chris has had his fair share of creepy occurrences, but his most recent exploration may just be the creepiest. Like most places, Chris visits an abandoned warehouse at an undisclosed location. Inside, there are plenty of empty crates lying around and lots of debris. Although mostly empty, he can't help but feel a certain presence inside this building. Small critters might have made this place their home, but to Chris, it seems that something else is living inside. Feeling a little terrified, he searches all around and finds nothing. But here's where things start to get really creepy. As Chris continues to explore the place, he finds a small staircase that leads him to the floor below. He takes it and finds a room with many doorways. One of them, however, leads to a narrow passage that seemingly has no end. Chris enters the passage, but immediately notices something strange.
noticeably colder in here. What the hell? If you stand right here, it's kind of warm. Like normal temperature. But as soon as you go in here, it gets cold. That is creepy as hell. Whoa, that is weird. That is weird. Like, I'm not joking on it. What was that? It's noticeably colder in here. Wow. This is gonna be creepy.
Chris has no idea as to why there's a sudden change in temperature upon entering inside. Confused and scared, he walks further into the passage, not sure where it would lead. He eventually arrives at an area that is more spacious and emptier. However, it is during this time when things take a dark turn. He goes in and sets up a few cameras before exploring the whole space. One camera in particular is an infrared camera that is able to record in real time. When he's done setting up all the cameras, he continues to explore the site, but unbeknownst to him, this is captured.
Still gotta go down there too. Did you hear that? That was loud. What the hell? What the f*** was that? What the f*** was that noise? Sounded like something fell. What the hell? What the f***?
Had it not been for the second camera, this would have been missed. A mist-like figure can be seen approaching Chris from a distance before reaching him. Eerily enough, Chris turns around as soon as the figure gets to him. And, as if that wasn't creepy enough, a strange-like figure in the corner can be seen peeping at the camera. Chris has no clue as to what this could have been, but viewers can't help but think that this might have been some supernatural creature that was spying on Chris. Whatever it might have been, he is certain that he won't be coming back to this place ever again. With all that's happened, one can't help but ask, what exactly had been spying on Chris? You might recall from a previous video about a woman named Lauren Combs who lives in a house in the middle of nowhere. Ever since moving in, she can't shake the feeling that something is haunting her. Lauren tries her best to ignore this feeling, but there have been countless instances of her dog Luna seeing things that she can't, and many other strange occurrences that are thought to be paranormal in nature. Although most of these incidents are pretty spooky, it's the most recent video that was captured that is by far the most unsettling. It's close to midnight when the following takes place inside Lauren's living room. Lauren writes, "Ignoring it is out of the question now. I'm just going to document what I can and start to reach out to people that can come help." This is her footage. Strangely, Lauren's dog begins to whimper before an object falls on its own. It's almost as though her dog had sensed the strange activity that was about to ensue.
Else knows.
Following that, a doorbell starts to go off on its own, but the footage outside shows no one at the door. Now, as many viewers have stated, opening the door may not have been a good idea, as according to them, whatever was ringing the doorbell is now inside the house. Although it isn't sure if something was let in, the following incident seems to suggest otherwise. It's 3 in the morning when suddenly this happens.
Because my statistics that I won. I gave you 6 points, I'm deducting 7. This is ridiculous. Don't make me think about numbers again. A brave and accurate decision. Yes, my captain. Yes. Holy captain, your horticulture is harvestable. Good. Oh, thank you. Fine. Hurry happily. Hank is hungry. Hallelujah.
All of a sudden, Lauren's hair is pulled by something. At first, Lauren thought that her cat had done this, but upon looking all around, she noticed that her cat wasn't there. As one would imagine, she was left beyond spooked. The activity in her home seems to be getting worse, and it seems that she isn't getting much help to solve this problem. But of course, what are your thoughts? Is Lauren being haunted by something, or is something else going on here? An anonymous individual named S had broken into a house that is said to be haunted. The residents of this place no longer live on the property, as according to sources, they had gone missing. The husband and wife who lived here mysteriously disappeared. No one knows what happened to the couple, but it's rumored that something terrible occurred. It was after their disappearance, however, that a family member shared surveillance footage from inside the couple's house. This footage was taken from the couple's security cameras, and it shows things that occurred before they went missing. Overall though, the footage is pretty creepy to say the least. Take a look at these clips and see what you think. Although pretty creepy, it wasn't scary enough to deter someone from breaking inside. An anonymous individual named S had seen the footage and decided to check out the property for himself. Little did he know, this was a bad idea. He breaks into the property by entering through a window on the 2nd floor. He goes in and immediately feels uneasy. This is what he caught. It was only after the mysterious knocking had stopped that the intruder looked to the side and saw what appeared to be a shadowy figure peeping from down the hall. It seems to be observing him before creeping away from sight. Not sure if he was just seeing things, he walks over to where the figure was seen, but eerily finds nothing there. Now, it wasn't until posting this video that viewers had noticed something odd about the figure. After being spotted by the intruder, it moves in such a way that seems very unnatural. It almost appears to be floating or even sliding away from view. Just like the surveillance footage from earlier, viewers find this video baffling. But there has yet to be more footage posted. Until then, we'll have to base our judgment on the evidence currently at hand. Doubtless, this video is pretty spooky. The following video shows a real estate agent showcasing a property on camera when something pretty creepy is caught on tape. The footage comes from a YouTube channel owned by a real estate broker named Santiago Sanchez, who's been uploading videos of homes that are up for sale. By filming these properties and putting them on his channel, Santiago has been able to sell most homes. But out of all the houses he's filmed, there's one in particular that he doubts will ever be sold. On June 15 of 2015, Santiago had posted a video unlike any other he's posted before. The video starts off with him standing in front of the house, seeming a bit scared, as he tells us that the owner had warned him not to go inside unless he thought it was necessary.
Me han dicho, no entres, pero si quieres ir a grabarla, puedes grabar el vídeo, pero ten mucho cuidado, no salte de la casa rápido. Casi me voy a atrever a entrar y este es el vídeo.
According to the owner, he and his family had promptly left the house late one evening after experiencing strange activity for months. Ever since then, the house has been empty. Now, it wasn't until weeks later that the family had reached out to Santiago asking for his help in selling their property. Although a house like this is hard to sell, he still showcased the property on the off chance that someone might still buy it. But little does he know that something downright creepy would happen while being inside. Upon entering the house, he smells a strong, foul odor that seems to linger throughout the property. He then walks over to the kitchen and sees that a colony of ants has taken over the sink. Now, according to the owner, there have been sudden infestations of flies and other insects throughout the house, which Santiago finds very odd. Although strange, it isn't as unusual as what happens later in the video. Have a look.
No tenía por qué haber ningún tipo de insectos. Estamos en la cocina. Se puede ver cómo ellos vaciaron toda la cocina rápidamente para irse corriendo. Está todo abierto. No han vuelto por esta casa. Yo no sé qué decir, pero pueden ver todavía pertenencias. Es raro. Esto nunca se lo llevaron. No quiero alejarme mucho de la puerta, la verdad. Oh, esto está horrible, este lado. No sé cómo puede estar tan horrible en poco tiempo. Una de las cosas que noto es que hay un olor que está horrible, como podrido.
Santiago then proceeds to go inside a bedroom that has a hidden closet. The owner states that his family has felt a certain presence inside this closet and has kept it shut for the longest time, until recently. Feeling a bit spooked, he heads on over to the other rooms, where he begins to feel even more uneasy. What happens then has left him baffled.
Aquí pueden observar dónde estaba el master bedroom, la habitación principal. Pueden ver que todavía hay cosas, pero pueden ver cómo rápidamente cogieron toda la ropa y se marcharon. Pueden ver ahí todas las perchas. Rápidamente sacaron toda la ropa, la cargaron en el coche y desaparecieron. Dejaron bastantes cosas detrás de ellos. Hay un olor extraño, como podrido, en este área de la casa. Este es el otro cuarto. Pueden observar. Todavía hay cosas, pertenencias. Bastante raro. Ahora Lo que vamos a hacer va a ser aquí en la pared. Hay unas marcas en la casa, en varias áreas. Es como serían marcas, uñas de alguien que ha raspado o definitivamente son algo raro que están rayadas las paredes en varias áreas. Esa es la... ok. Bueno, esta es la parte de arriba, es extraño, la verdad. Este es el otro, Mira, hay ruidos en la casa, puedo decir, hay ruidos. Ahí hay unos ruidos que estoy oyendo, como unos clac, clac. Es muy extraño. Y esto es lo que es la casa. Estas personas estuvieron aquí viviendo unos 2-3 años y me llamaron, dijeron que la tuvieron que abandonar porque definitivamente algo raro estaba ocurriendo. Cuando abandonaron la casa, no la abandonaron a las 2 de la mañana, después de que ocurrió, según ellos, cosas muy raras. Pero bueno, yo he querido venir, grabar el vídeo y ver, un poquito, de todo lo que está ocurriendo en esta casa. Yo no creo, pero bueno, esta es la casa. Es muy, muy interesante. Y... mejor me voy saliendo ya de la casa, pero otra vez, si necesitan comprar una casa, siempre miren el historial de las casas. Es muy importante, ¿ok?
The chair, without warning, rocks on its own. It is at this point that Santiago decides to leave the premises while trying to keep calm by talking more about the property. The sudden infestation of flies, ants, and other insects, plus the markings on the walls, as well as the foul odor throughout the home, have led viewers to believe that the house is haunted. And of course, the chair moving on its own was enough to convince them that something paranormal had occurred. But as always, I'll leave it to you to come up with your own conclusion. For now, this video remains a total mystery. If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. This next video was suggested by Armando Caesar, who says he has no idea where this video originally came from. The source is unknown. But after doing a bit of research, he was able to gather some info on the footage. According to Armando, the woman in this video is a house cleaner who's been cleaning an extremely old house for years. She usually comes at night to clean the place, and almost every night while being there, she swears that she can hear voices and footsteps from the floor above, even though no one else is inside the home. One evening, the cleaning lady's friends dare her to clean the house, but with the lights off, and to record whatever happens. Although hesitant at first, she took the dare, thinking it would be a great idea, as she would prove to her friends that she's not crazy and the house is actually haunted. But she would later come to realize that this was actually a bad idea. It's late at night, the lights are off, and the woman is at this place. This is what was captured.
Have I to really cope there? Huh? What? God. Can't scare me, you bastard, I'm coming. For Alan. To prove that it is top of banister. Hello, Pauline, I'm shitting myself. Sounds like there's something in that bedroom. I'm up to top of stairs. Top of Oh. I can hear a noise in the background, but it's in that cupboard, and it is the airing cupboard. So that's where the boiler is, and it sounds like it's just, someone's just come up at the back of me. Door. Bollocks. Now I want to go back down now. Right, I've just shut door. I've just shut door. Bed, I'm going to sit on the foot. I daren't move. Do you know if I weren't shitting me said? I want to go down.
Now, normally anyone who encounters something like this would flee from the house immediately, but it seems that the cleaning lady was feeling pretty brave that night. However, if it wasn't for the following incident, this video would have been a lot longer. What happens next, before heading downstairs, has left her completely shook. This is what she caught.
Open the door for me, please. I have just seen something. I have just seen something. Right, that's it. I'm off down. I can't take them all. I am off frigging down.
A loud bang comes from one of the rooms, at which the woman points the camera and captures something by the door. It happens real fast, but if you slow the footage and pause at the right time, you can see what appears to be a palish-looking figure peeping at the woman from behind the door. Eerily enough, it seems to have been standing there even before the camera points at it. It is at this point that the woman has seen enough and decides to call it a night. Now, with all that's happened in this video, one can't help but think if something paranormal had truly occurred. If so, then the dare she took proved to be successful. Yet, not much info is given on the video to prove that it's either real or fake, so it's up to you to come up with your own conclusion. As is often the case with videos like this, what happened that night remains a total mystery. The following video comes from Donna Ayers, who can't help but feel that something is haunting her. According to Donna, there have been strange happenings inside her home that neither she nor her family could explain. In 2009, Donna's brother had passed away due to unknown reasons, but ever since his death, Donna has been feeling very scared. Objects inside her house move by themselves, which seems to happen whenever Donna is present. While some believe that her brother's ghost is responsible for the unusual activity, as it might be a sign of him reaching out to her, Donna believes that something else is inside her home. Something very malicious. One night, while being home alone, Donna sees the following and begins to record. This is what she captured.
That's not me, is it, the camera? Hang on, guys, I'm just going to get a better view because this is amazing. I'm just going to turn the light up a bit as well. If that's you, please move it again. That is moving. Oh my god, that is moving.
Yeah, you just asked him to do it.
Strangely, the chandelier moves on its own. It gently sways back and forth before the video comes to an end. Like with most occurrences, this one has left her spooked. But this wouldn't be the only occurrence caught on camera, as something way more creepy is captured. A few days after the previous incident, Donna is in her kitchen when out of nowhere, she notices one of her mugs moving on its own. She immediately begins to record and captures this.
As you can see, just so you lot don't think I'm quizzing, I'm not going too close because I get launched at. But there's nothing under there. That's just a bracket from an old drawer that used to be there. There's nothing in the cupboard. It's just cutlery and stuff. Nothing under there apart from pots and pans. There's no magnets. That's just a switch. There's nothing there at all. Nothing out the ordinary, but yet keeps moving. Can you move it again, please? If you're here, move it. If you're here. Yeah. I'll just show you as well. There's nothing underneath, there's nothing. It's just an old metal cup. Metal. Weird. Oh my gosh. The surface isn't wet or anything, it's all dry. So there's no reason for it to be moving.
If there was nothing below the counter that could have been moving the cup, then how was it doing this on its own? As with all other occurrences Donna has seen, she believes that something supernatural had done this. Although not sure what exactly had moved the cup, the same paranormal entity is thought to be responsible for the following incident. But unlike other incidents, this one has got to be the creepiest. At the start of the video, Donna is informing us of a strange incident involving her toy fish tank, which we can see in the video. But while telling us what happened, something pretty creepy is captured. We can hear Donna's dog reacting to this odd occurrence as it happens.
But yeah, that's basically the new tank. I'll just keep it in the background and then you can see around. But just strange feelings. Almost like you can feel the dark entity that's here, and it's almost like a pressure around you. And the only thing you can do is record it so people see it, rather than just say it and no one see what's happening at the same time of what's going on. So,
Beautiful insight there.
I don't know if you can see it. They're certainly acting a bit weird. See, it's so strange. See, I get the feeling there's something here right now. And yet I don't. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. It's bringing tears to my eyes. Because no one gets it. My chain's moving on my neck.
Mysteriously, her necklace appears to be tugged by something. It is at this point that she's seen enough to be brought to tears by this incident. Now, it's worth mentioning that Donna had played with a Ouija board prior to one of these incidents. She believes that this might have worsened the activity in her home, but isn't sure if that's the reason. Viewers beg to differ, but as always, I'll let you be the judge as to whether or not something paranormal is happening. Are all of these events indicative of something supernatural, or is something else going on here? This next video features a family of 3 who lives in a house that they believe is haunted. The family has experienced many strange occurrences inside this house, but out of all things encountered, there's one incident that is by far the creepiest. The following is the video they took. The video begins with the father of the family, who's recording what appears to be a small pool for children. According to him, his son Rowan was playing with mom inside the pool when he points to the house and says that he could see a man in the window.
And right there in that room That's where Rowan said that he saw a man inside there, and he sat in the pool right here, and he sat there staring up, and he said, "That's a man." And he kept looking in there and said, "There's a man in there." So
If no one had been inside, then who or what did Rowan see? Rowan's mother states that she was creeped out by her son's comment, but it's what happened later that day that creeped her out the most. After playing in the pool, they both go inside to dry up, when Rowan walks over to the dining room where the figure was seen and stares at something for a very long time. Unsure as to what he was seeing, she asked him if there was something there, to which he nodded and said, "I could see a man with big black hair." He also says that he looks like an airplane, which neither of his parents could understand. But then, after telling us this story, the father goes on to record his son and ask him more questions about this man.
He hurt his brain? And then what happened? Did he say anything?
He hurt his butt.
He hurt his butt?
Now it could be the case that he's just saying whatever comes to mind, as most children do. But what happens later in the video has left both parents baffled. This is what was caught.
Well, do you have anything else to add? He apparently sees a man in there. That's a big man?
The father captures footage of his son, who appears to be seeing something.
Is he there? What's he look like?
He's an airplane.
He always says that. He looks like
an airplane.
Probably
another man?
because he hovers.
He's a black man.
He's a black man?
Black. When he said
Okay, he's a
big
black
hair,
man.
I thought was what he meant.
Right?
After giving another detail about the man, he walks over to the dining room and sits at the entrance. He then points to the
Must not be
corner
a bad man.
and says that he could see the man standing right there. As you might have guessed, the parents can't help but think that their child has seen a ghost. Now it could be that their son has an overactive imagination and are therefore mistaking an imaginary friend for a ghost. Yet, the following day, the father makes a shocking discovery that may dispel this notion. Take a look.
Hi. I just wanted to say that this is the next day after Rowan's been telling us about that ghost that he saw, and we just realized he's been telling us a black man was in here with big hair, with big black hair, and he was in this room. And we didn't know, but we were looking around and we found out that this piece of little furniture, this thing my mom gave us, and we found it in the corner. It's called a unity carving. See? And it's carved from one piece of wood. And look at this that we found on it, and we didn't even know. But speaking of
So many of mine have that same exact sticker on it.
Ghana is in Africa, so this is, and we looked up, it's made from all one piece of wood. It's like this artistic thing that, it's like hard to make or whatever, and they probably get paid very little, which is why they're able to resell these for fairly cheap in the United States. But we think maybe the person who crafted it was the ghost or something.
Not
or
necessarily.
connected to this, the person connected to this thing was the ghost. Okay, so we just thought I'd add that tidbit in. Okay.
What are your thoughts on this? Is the piece responsible for the man that Rowan sees? Or is it all due to an overactive imagination?
I don't know, I wish there was more
Feel free to share what you think.
actual evidence there.
During a live stream on YouTube, something pretty creepy was caught on camera. The two people in this video are a mother and her son, who were shooting a live video on their YouTube channel known as Laura's Kitchen. The channel itself is solely based on cooking homemade meals, which Laura films herself doing. From videos about making deviled eggs to showing how to make a Dutch cucumber salad, there's not a single video on this channel about anything paranormal, which makes this video even more believable. As Laura and her son were live streaming on their channel, something very strange happened. Ever since then, they can't shake the feeling that their house is haunted. After 24 minutes into the live stream, Laura is telling a story when all of a sudden, the following happens.
At the back door, the dog had to pee, and there's a button that says pee pee by the back door. And I'm like, wow, you know, it's been quiet. Oscar has not bothered me all day. This is great. I think he's finally over this, right? So I said to the dog, hit the button. You want to go pee pee? Hit the button. So he hits the button, and it goes, your mom's dead. What the? What was that? So, anyways. Nothing's right. Sorry, typing too fast. That's strange. The cabinet behind you just opened and closed on its own. What? Is that what that was? Ah! What was that? It's right there. Pick it all up. Holy shit.
That cup just shattered.
Oh my god, I'm really scared right now. That is garbage. Do you want to end it? Are you freaked out right now?
Sure.
Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me just say goodbye.
It was only after a viewer of the live stream had told them about the cabinet that they realized the source of the sound. It was then later that more activity had occurred. Now what's even more strange about this is that earlier in the live stream, Laura had been talking about her dead mother who had passed away 20 years ago. Based on the footage, viewers believe that her deceased mother might be responsible for the strange activity. But of course, as with most videos, it's not certain if something paranormal was accountable for this. Doubtless, this odd occurrence has left Laura and her son terrified. But what do you think? Had something paranormal been caught on camera? Or is there some other explanation for this? A mother hides a camera inside her daughter's bedroom and ends up capturing something pretty creepy. Now the video itself comes from Leo Lourdes, the mother in question, who recently moved into a new home with her small daughter. Ever since moving in, she's noticed that her daughter has been talking to an imaginary friend. Although it's normal for young children to have make-believe friends, there's something about this imaginary friend that doesn't sit well with Leo.
Hey, so we are just moving in. I'm literally, it's such a mess, I'm sorry, but we're moving into this old house. And my daughter has been talking to an imaginary friend, except for it feels really real. Obviously, it's an imaginary friend, but it's been weirding me out. And I'm wondering if something is triggering it or why it's happening. So I put this camera down and I'm just gonna let it run and we'll see.
Curious as to what goes on inside her daughter's bedroom when she's not around, Leo places a camera on a stand and lets it record 24/7. At first, nothing strange is captured, but then, one night, after having dinner, Leo's daughter goes to her bedroom and plays with her so-called imaginary friend. what was captured has left Leo disturbed. Take a look.
Hey guys, this is what the camera picked up, captured, whatever, a couple nights ago. And I'm freaked out. I really don't know what to make of this.
This looks beautiful and funny. What he was doing? Do you want to play? Do you want to? Do you want to sleep? Come on, please.
Somehow, the door opens on its own. Seeming confused and scared, Leo's daughter carefully walks out of the room. The strangest part about this, though, is the audio of the footage. If you listen closely, you can hear what sounds like a deep, rumbling noise coming out of nowhere. It happens right as the door opens by itself.
Yeah, that felt very intentional to try to scare her. It's not a nice one. Oh, Mama Jamaica back there.
Because of this, Leo thinks that whatever had opened the door was making this noise. But to her, it seems that her daughter's imaginary friend might have something to do with this. She has yet to figure out what exactly occurred that night. But for now, the question remains, was something paranormal actually caught on camera? Or could something else explain this? If there's one thing that makes the video twice as creepy, it's children staring at something that can't be seen. But even more unsettling is when something near them suddenly moves on its own, suggesting that something might actually be there. This next video is just as creepy as the one described. Jamie Primex Sullivan is a mother whose daughter, who at the time of this recording, was acting very strange. According to Jamie, almost every night after tucking her daughter into bed, she would catch her staring off at something in the corner of her room, even though there was clearly nothing there, except for darkness. Although creeped out by this common occurrence, it's the following incident that freaks out Jamie the most. Jamie and her daughter Charlie are filming themselves inside their home after going out for dinner. They vlog about their day and eventually start talking about people in their family. However, when Charlie brings up Jamie's deceased grandmother in the conversation, things take a chilling turn. Watch.
But where's your grandma?
Where is my grandma?
Heaven.
Do you remember my grandma? Where is my grandma? Where is she?
Up in heaven. What did she do to make her go up in heaven? Did she do a smoker?
No, she didn't do a smoker.
She didn't just do a smoker.
She was just very old. She was almost 93, and her body just got very
What a cute
tired.
kid. That's a very cute kid. I like her.
Was she, did your grandma almost couldn't walk?
She was old. She could walk, but she was old. Okay?
Mommy, your grandma's here. And she says, hi, Jamila.
What?
Your grandma's here. And she says, hi, Jamila.
Now, Jamie adds that her grandmother had called her Jamila growing up, and that there's no way that her daughter could have known this, as she was never told about her nickname. Considering Charlie's odd behavior, such as saying things that aren't there, among other strange incidents, there's no doubting that Jamie was deeply unsettled by this. Just how exactly did Charlie know of her mom's nickname that was given by her grandma, who's been dead for years? While some think that Charlie could have been in contact with the spirit of her deceased great-grandmother, others aren't really sure what to make of this. But whether or not people believe her, Jamie is convinced that someone, or something, had made contact with her child. To this day, she isn't sure how exactly her daughter knew about her nickname. This next video shows a woman who appears to be very sick. The person recording claims that she might be on her deathbed. If that's so, then this video just got a whole lot interesting. A friend or relative is watching the woman on the monitor when they notice something odd about the footage. Upon looking closely, they see the following.
What the f is that? It's like something touching her. What the hell is that?
That's like how the boys looked when I
What looks to be an arm reaching out to the woman on her supposed deathbed can be seen on camera. It reaches out as though whatever this is trying to comfort the sick woman. Some viewers have theorized that this might be the ghost of a loved one who is still looking after their partner from beyond the grave. Although pretty wholesome, it is solely a belief. Yet most viewers can't help but think this. But of course, what do you think? Had the ghost of a loved one paid a visit to this woman? Or is there a possible explanation for the ghostly arm? Feel free to let me know what you think down below. It's worth noting that the following video features a doll. So if you plan on sleeping tonight, you'll probably want to skip this one. The video starts off with a child who seems very excited over the fact that the camera on which this video has been recorded
that's
is
not even
finally
the fraction
working
of
after
them.
failing to
I mean,
turn
I
on
have
for a
rooms
while.
full of, and they're all
Enthused that the camera's
spiritual.
now
All of them, they all have
functioning,
spirits
the child
bound to them.
excitedly tells her mother about this while recording her. The child then goes on to tell their sister about this. However, it's what happens next that has left many viewers disturbed. Watch.
Mami, mira, ya aprendí a grabar, voltea. Sí. Ay, Jasmine, ya aprendí a grabar, enana. Ay, Michi, se me olvidó. Michi, voltea. Voltea. Ay, voltea. Michi, voltea.
All of a sudden, what appears to be a doll's head turns around on its own.
Okay, well,
Even
that's
more
not a doll.
unsettling
It's a
is that it turns its
hospitality
head
head.
seemingly at the request of the child, who kept asking to turn around and look at the camera. For this
cute.
reason, viewers find this video to be evidence of something paranormal. It isn't obvious how the mannequin's head moved on its own, but as always, I'll let you come up with your own explanations. What was it exactly that made the doll's head move? The following video was posted by a Reddit user whose family has been experiencing strange activity at home. One night, as both he and his family are asleep, his daughter is woken up by something. Her reaction can be heard on camera. Take a look. According to the daughter, she had seen a shadowy figure inside her room, causing her to react the way she did. She further adds that around the same time, her small radio had turned on by itself. Given all that occurred, one can understand why she was totally freaked out and why the family was shaken up. But this hadn't been the only incident that scared them, as something far more strange had taken place a few weeks prior. It's 3 in the morning when this happens. An unusual sound can be heard coming out of nowhere. The father says he has no idea as to where the sound came from, but whatever it was, it definitely spooked them. But for now, these 2 videos have left the family scratching their heads as they can't think of anything to explain them. Now the following video barely has any information. Where exactly this video had come from is unknown, as the original source is a total mystery. All that is known is that it was found by someone online who reposted the video. In it, a small child is seen lying at a doorway when something pretty baffling happens. Take a look. According to viewers, it seems that the child was either kicked or pushed by an unseen force. Even before it happens, they seem to be scared of something, as though they are trying to get away from whoever or whatever's inside this room. The lack of info and the unknown source of this video makes it hard to determine if it's paranormal or not.
Obviously, the kid's not flying down the hallway.
Until more info is brought forth.
Jesus. Yeah, that spirit would get out. That pissed me right off.
Captures something pretty creepy on footage. Not much info is given on this video, but it still speaks for itself. A child is walking through a kitchen when suddenly they stop to look at something. What happens next is beyond strange. Take a look.
It's like trying to snatch stuff away from her. Huh. I'm my type of girl.
The child, without warning, stops in their tracks and stares at something as though someone were blocking their path. They then have a conversation with who or whatever it was that they were seeing. Now, the possibility of this being a child with an overactive imagination isn't ruled out, but the way in which they interact with this supposed imaginary friend is what frightens the mother of this child. Rosie B., the mother in question, thinks that this may have been a ghost or some otherworldly entity
she'd be a really great actress
trying to take away her
for
daughter's toys.
like 2 years old.
But even more unsettling is the fact that when Rosie asked her daughter as to who she was talking to, she responded by saying that it was a little girl and a little boy. Overall though, this video is quite strange. The mother has yet to find out the history of her home, as she thinks this might explain this odd occurrence. But until then, this video
probably
remains
the
a
little
mystery.
boy. That little girl is the bomb.
A woman is alone
She's
at home
awesome.
when something pretty creepy is caught on camera. The following video comes from a woman who lives alone with her 2 cats.
Yeah,
Every
kitty
so
cat.
often, her cats would do things that would make her question whether or not they were children in their past lives. To her, it feels as though she's living with kids. Given how much she loves her cats,
we all
she
feel that
buys a
way.
camera to see what they do when she's away from home. The camera she gets has an auto-tracking feature, which basically means that the camera points to wherever it senses movement, tracking wherever the cats go. Although recording everything they do, it seems that buying the camera was a bad idea, as ever since having it, it's been capturing things that are scaring her. The following are just some of the things that happen when she's away from home. Take a look. From strange noises that come out of nowhere to unseen forces that are picked up by the camera, the woman is beyond spooked. Now, it's not only when she's gone that strange things happen. There have been countless instances when something unexplainable occurred while being at home. On one occasion, the woman is in the kitchen when all of a sudden, an object on her shelf just launches off on its own. But creepiest of all is when one day, while sitting on the couch, this happened. The woman is certain that there was no draft when this happened, as according to her, the whole apartment is sealed just tight enough to prevent any airflow from outside. Given that this has never happened before, she finds this very unusual. Sadly enough, it's incidents like this, among many others, that's been causing her a lot of anguish, as she doesn't know what to do to stop this. Whatever it might be that's going on, it's taking a toll on her mental health. Out of all occurrences, one in particular has pushed her to take action by seeking help from others. The incident is nonetheless pretty creepy. This is what was caught.
C'est passé quoi? Stop, viens. Attends. Viens. Connard. Espèce de connard. Viens. Laisse cette putain de porte tranquille maintenant. Non, mon fille. Viens. C'est moi. C'est moi, regarde. C'est moi.
I'd watch my cats around that spirit.
Viens. Viens. C'est moi. T'inquiète pas. C'est rien. Hein?
Yeah. No.
Vas-y, éclate-toi, maman. Vas-y. Ferme cette putain de porte. Vas-y.
I mean, probably still can.
Ça vient, mon bébé. Ça vient, viens. Ça vient. Eh, c'est moi. N'aie pas peur. N'aie pas peur. C'est moi.
I wouldn't keep challenging it.
Non. C'est rien, ma bébé. Viens. Viens. Viens là. Viens. Viens, mon bébé. Allez. Viens.
Once again, the door just somehow moves on its own. Even the cat appears to be scared as it quickly jumps off the bed after sensing something wrong. It quickly rushes out of the doorway as to avoid being crushed by the door. Naturally, the woman was left shaken up. If no draft had caused this, then how did it close on its own? As with previous incidents, she can't seem to explain this. But like always, you be the judge as to whether or not something paranormal occurred. Is this woman actually experiencing paranormal activity, or is something else going on here? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
Guys,
Until next time.
And I hope somebody got to watch this with me. I almost fell asleep a few times. It got boring, but I stuck through. Alright, I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining in. Son of a bee.